I have a theory on the trans movement. I can barely talk, but this just occurred to me. Okay, so my girlfriend Tiffany from a few years ago, when I saw her again here recently, it was like a year ago or so, she tried to get back with me again, and she was a trans man now. So the series of events here, I meet Tiffany. I like Tiffany. I pretty much proposed to Tiffany based on the fact that we lived together for a few years and see how it goes, and then I'll buy a ring and all that shit. I bought a ring with real gold and real diamonds on it just to give her so she had something to wear. This bitch stole my car and went and got fucked all night by some dude, and then came back and wanted to get her shit and move out, but still date, still see each other. Like, so you're wanting to use me for money? Yeah, no thank you. I have no interest in that. And I had told her previously that if she ever fucking left, she should stay gone. That's probably pretty good advice. When she came back, I had just lost 260 pounds inside a year and changed genders and had grown my hair and tits and was looking hot, to be honest. I think I was hotter then than I am now. I don't know. That's somewhat debatable, I think. Point is, she said hey and whatever, and I was with Dakota, and I was like, oh, hey, Tiffany, whatever. I was like, yeah, did you hear about this? I'm a girl now. Here's pictures. And she's like, holy shit, you're hotter than me. I think that broke Tiffany's little brain. And I think that there's been a lot of this, that women decided to go play fucking games, and their men were somewhat fucking bisexual to begin with, and were having fantasies about this for years. And then they went and fucking did the trans thing. Whether this is a legitimate thing or not, this is within some of our heads. So they went and did that. And now there's a whole bunch of these girls that are, they should have fucking married. They really should have married. And now they're like lost as fuck and thinking that they're a man for some reason. I don't understand that fully. But like, watching this series of events with Tiffany is not trans. I broke Tiffany's little fucking brain when I transitioned. And good riddance for that car stealing bitch. I posted a thing on Instagram when she left me, and it said, this is a quote from Rooster J. Cogburn, U.S. Marshal of the Indian Territories. I said to that woman, goodbye, Beulah. I hope that nail-selling bastard can keep you happy this time. That's how she made me feel. A little worse than that, to be honest, but I don't know. I was always kind of wondering how I was going to break it to Tiffany that I was trans. That was the hiccup in our fucking relationship, really. So for those of you going, well, you did this to get back at her. No. I sent her the hot pictures of me in the red dress to get back at her. Basically, I'm about 10 times hotter than Tiffany could ever fucking hope to be. And I think that's funny. I think that's very funny. And the fact that she lost her little mind and started saying she was a dude, like, this is what's going on in our world. This is happening everywhere. Okay? Because it's become a more prevalent thing to do this. The effect of men going ladyboy is if they were romantically involved with a woman at or around the time that happened, it breaks that bitch. And good riddance. Sorry, Cat. There's so many fucking women that are useless pieces of fucking trash. Like, this is my opinion. Like, when you're like, how dare you? Go look at society. How many fucking women do you know that do nothing? And I don't know. Like, they'll never have a relationship. They'll never have children. Or if they do have children, they're going to completely fuck them up. Yeah, our society is so much better without men. I think that's kind of the fucking message that this movement is. At least my movement. Y'all want to be non-traditional. Let's go be non-traditional. A little bit. I don't know. I always felt like I was a girl. I always wanted to be a girl. I always wanted to be pretty. So, this doesn't bother me in the least. And I'm kind of a lesbian. And the women that I like that are hot looking much more prefer me this way. So anyone that has a problem with it can, go get fucked. And it's a side bonus that it broke fucking Tiffany's mind. I really loved her quite a bit. And she broke my fucking heart. Like, I barely trusted her, and it's a good thing. I fully trusted Dakota, and I fucked that up. There's like no ill will there. And like, this is half of the thing is, it's hard to have a fucking bad relationship with someone that's similar to you, I think. And even broken up or whatever. If I showed up on her doorstep tonight, she would take me in. I don't do that because I don't need to. The female of the species is a manipulative, greedy, self-serving piece of shit. And it's kind of a no wonder now that it's so expensive to have kids. And people in general are always kind of like bisexual as fuck anyway. That there's a whole bunch of us that are just like, okay, I'm going to go be a girl now. That's how I see things. Like, okay, you're all going to be whores. And, I don't know. Like, I have real issues with fucking modern women because basically, like, what are your goals in dating? Is it sex? Is it love? Nope. And nope, usually. What is it? I need someplace to live. Men will only take so much of that without love and sex. Lots of sex. If that's your pitch, you better fall in love with that dude and fuck him to death. Because that's what he wants. If he's giving you a place to fucking live, that's what he wants. It's ridiculous to me that the whole game is, okay, so I'm going to trap me a man to give me a place to live, and then I'm going to lord my pussy over him for the rest of fucking time. This is most women. This is how they get what they want. And you know what really pisses them off? When you tell them, Beulah, I hope that nail-selling bastard makes you happy this time. and kick him out the fucking house. Because that's pretty much what happened to Tiffany. And this is why, in my opinion, if you're going to be a man, you should go make some fucking money. And you should own your own land. If you don't have land, you're not a man. Because you can't do this. Which is, you can just kick the bitch out. To some extent, like, there is a power dynamic in relationships or whatever. And I don't like to have that. You can ask either one of those people that I'm talking about. They're about the only people I ever really had a super long-term relationship with. There's been others that were weeks or whatever. But like, I dated Tiffany for like 6 to 8 months. And I dated Dakota for about 1.5 years. But you could ask them, like, I'm not a power person. In fact, if you start playing power games with me, you might find I just disappear. It's not my thing. I'm the sort of person that, if the king wants to play power games, I stab him in the fucking eye. So I think calmly walking away from women when they do that is a much better solution. Bitches ain't loyal. That's the takeaway from this, basically. I don't know. I'm throwing a lot of women in with Tiffany. But my thing is, I went through a lot of fucking girls just to get to Tiffany. Tiffany was not that good looking, but could cook and was nice and thought I was hot as shit. And that's what mattered to me. And like, she was cute in her own way. To be honest, it was one of those things like, it was the fact that she wasn't cute that made her perfect. She had everything else because she wasn't cute. Girls don't ever think about that shit. This is what's causing the downfall of our society, in my opinion. All this shit I've been talking about. And it's caused by our technological revolution or whatever that has made, basically, nobody fucks now. Take it from somebody that fucks a lot. Nobody fucks. Most of the guys that, I meet, if they've hooked up with anyone, it's, been over 1 year ago or something. And it was another trans girl. And when I ask them about real women or whatever, they're into them, but, they don't get any. Interesting. The whole, like, Ted Kaczynski, the death of the technological whatever that fucking Lamb Dog's been talking about. That's this too. This is a manifestation of the disease. That is that. There's some experiment I don't remember the name of, but it's where they put a bunch of rats in a city and gave them everything that they wanted. And within a few generations, the rats were all fucking like insane, just staying in the house and fucking like killing themselves and shit. And they stopped breeding. I think that's kind of what's going on here. We've broken society to the point that, like, there's a substantial portion of the population that's stopping breeding. Welcome to God's reaping scythe at your society. That is the transgender movement. God or the devil. That's how I see things. The ways of the English should die. They're fucked up to begin with. One of the main issues with English law, in my opinion, is the fact that, like, it opened us up to this. It made this inevitable. I don't have a better solution, just to be clear. But what's getting ready to take over is some sort of like crazy religious shit here in America. Crazy religious. Like snake handling cult religious is about to fucking just seize power. And none of y'all see that shit, but they're influencing the kids, and they've made a divide in the country between a bunch of demons and a bunch of people that are just like, oh my God, the revelations is coming true. Those people outnumber the Satan people, and they're dangerous as fuck. I don't know what they're going to do. It's the end of the world as we know it. You know? That's how I see it. So, fuck it. I'm going to go be a transgender lesbian. Why not? Like, this is the difference between, like, you know, the wizard and the hobbits. Is the wizard isn't evil, but he goes and does a lot of evil shit on occasion. Why? Because he's the wizard. Like, look at any wizard ever. They're hip deep in all sorts of evil. I think that's funny. They always are like the only thing of magical power that's trying to resist the fucking forces of evil. One of those, in order to fight the darkness, you have to touch it or whatever. You know, I hate to borrow from that new fucking Lord of the Rings abomination, but that was some good shit. Not the whole series, but that part about the darkness and light and stuff at the beginning. I thought that was actually one of the better parts of that whole thing, despite being very poorly written. Maybe I just liked the message for our time or whatever. That Lord of the Rings shit was fucking insane. Like, honestly, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings is not a faithful adaptation of Lord of the Rings. It is just a very good one. And now all of these people are like, the Rings of Power went against the canon, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, you should get that there's movie canon and book canon. And I'm all for Rings of Power dumping movie canon to go back to book canon, which is some of what they were doing. But they were also just like adding all their own shit to do whatever the fuck they want. Because, I don't know, racial diversity. Next week, we will have an orc played by a small Asian woman. It's like, I can't do accents while my voice is like this. I was going to do an Asian woman's accent and be like, give me a ring photo. I can't. I can barely talk in this. Cat, stop it. He's just like freaking out on my fucking rucksack. No. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about what's causing our ills and woes and whatever. But it seems like it's not the transgender shit that's causing it. It's male-female relationships completely broken down to the point that no one fucks and no one has kids now. Or if they do, it's because they're young and horny and just fucking in the back of a car someplace. It's ridiculous. Like, this whole, like, Quakerish idea that we have about sex is why this is like this. Like, I don't think adults should fuck kids. Period. However, if you don't let 13-year-old boys and girls be 13-year-old girls and boys, maybe with some like lectures about how you don't get babies and shit, but like there's social and sexual development that has to happen, that always does. It doesn't matter what laws you put in place. It doesn't matter whatever you say. And it's ridiculous that we've made a society now where like no one has sex. And if you look at like the schools and shit, there's never any opportunities where boys and girls are alone or whatever. Like, unless there's a house party or something. Like, I don't know. I don't think we should like make it to where they can just hook up constantly or whatever. But like at the same time, like sex isn't a bad thing. Maybe that's just me. And I don't know how we bridge all of this shit into one future that we can all fucking have. Because like, you people are right. The kids shouldn't be fucking all the time. I am also right that they must fuck in order for the civilization to continue. And that basically, if you have them wait until they're 30 to meet women, that's never going to happen. And that's what's happening in a lot of societies right now. There's a lot of men that like have lived on a computer and in a little clique of friends at school or whatever, and just like shied away from girls, that they're 30, 40 years old. They've never spoken to a woman, really. At least not in any way that matters. Not in any way that makes her panties drop off. We are Demolition Man. We are the virgins sitting around singing, "I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener." And I'm Simon Phoenix, here to free you all. Simon says freeze. Actually, Simon says die, really, probably. But I was going to end it there. I'm not going to now. We're just going on. I like that movie. If you have not watched Demolition Man lately, it is our times. We're going to watch, a lot of the franchises die. I don't think Taco Bell is going to be the only food left or whatever, like in that. But like, there's going to be some major shakeups of some things that people thought would always be around. And some of that is going to be some fast food shit and some like entertainment shit and some technology shit. And the whole planet is changing. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Do you agree with me about these woes of our society? That's what I'm going to title this. The woes of the modern society. I can't see the world many other ways. I'm too close to it, I guess. I'll see you guys later.